You're probably clicking on this video to get answers about what the rule is and how I pass prop firms. And I'm going to give you one simple answer that'll come sooner or later on in this video. Before I start this video off, I just want to say, welcome to another video, guys. If you're not subscribed already, please do so. I drop a lot of informative educational content on here, and I also give updates. I'm very transparent about my trading, so if you guys could please subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to get 10 subscribers within the next couple of weeks here. If we do achieve that goal, I will show live trading, guys. I'm also planning on streaming my trading process, so if you guys want to see that, please subscribe and drop a like on this video. That's the least that you can do to help me. Also, please join my Discord server if you haven't already. It's linked in the description of this video, so please, it is free Discord channel. It's completely free, so please join that. Trying to get a lot of members in there. As we get it rolling, I'll have informative educational content in there, and I'll also have, you know, the community in there that you could chat with and trade along with and everything like that. It's going to be popping in there, so please join my Discord. It's free, completely free. It's going to be linked in my description of this video, and it's also going to be linked in the bio of my channel. Also, my link tree is going to be in the description. Please click my link tree and go follow me on Twitch, Kick, and every other platform that's listed on there. Go follow me on there. It'll help me out with starting out with streaming. I'm going to be doing that soon, so please do that. Also, comment on this video what you guys trade, how you guys trade, comment whatever you want. I'll make sure to reply as soon as I can. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's get into this video. So, the rule that I used to pass prop firms is really simple, guys. And it's something that you can apply today. You can apply this logic today. The biggest reason why traders fail is a plethora of things, but one of the biggest reason is no risk management. Risk management is everything in trading, guys. If you are not managing your risk, you are losing. This is something that I learned when I first started, and I learned it the hard way, just like everybody else that starts. But when you start trading, you want to start managing your risk. You don't want to end up blowing accounts and spending more money on accounts that you don't even think is going to benefit you at the end of the day. And that is if you don't apply risk management. Now, I like to look at risk management like in different ways. Managing your capital. At the end of the day, it all comes down to capital management. So realistically, risk management could be called capital management and how much you throw in and come out with. As for me, this is how I manage my risk, and it comes down to very simple terms. You want to have your mind set on different risks. You see, as traders, we are so quick to jump in and over risk the amount that we should be without knowing probabilistic results of our strategy, a given strategy. When you first hop into the markets, you want to trade as soon as possible. You're in the markets, you want to just find a strategy. This video is about risk management. Traders enter this prop firm space, which if you think about it, actually helps accelerate their learning process. Why? Well, let me show you. Let's just take my funded futures, for example. I'm going to show you what the rules are. For a max drawdown, my funded futures has a, so for my funded futures, they have a max drawdown of 2.5. Okay. Now, people will probably already look at this number and think, oh, that's easy, right? That's so easy, 2.5 thousand. So simple, I can get this account passed really quickly. By the way, this is on a starter account, but people look at this and they think, oh, wow, like this right here this looks easy. I can just go in and trade 2.5 thousand is a small amount. I can get to the profit target easily, you know, until you find out that the profit target, it's not going from 2.5K to 3,000. It's going from 2.5K to, it's going from 50,000 to 53,000. You need to go from 50,000 to 53,000. So there is a $3,000 profit target. By the way, like I said, this is on starter accounts. It's different for every account with the profit target, max drawdown, and the beginner, and like the starter plans at least. So like starter, starter plus, whatever. Obviously, it's a bigger drawdown and the bigger plans. So this is just for starter. Now, most people look at this and they're like, still thinking in their heads, well, $3,000, that's still pretty simple. I have $2.5 thousand of drawdown. And while, you know, that is a really big amount of drawdown that my funded futures has, which is really good, people look at this and they're like, well, I could still do it. But then when they go in and they start trading, they don't have a plan. You know, when they're going in, they're just risking whatever amount they think is viable to succeed. And so when they go in and they're trading, you know, all these different strategies, they're going in blind, basically. Guys, I have been trading a strategy that is purely static strategy. It puts my stop loss in the same spot every time. I risk the same amount every time. But you can still put your stop loss wherever you want as long as you manage your risk. It is so important to manage risk. Seriously, guys, don't go into the market without managing your risk. So let me give you a good example. On these accounts, you want to account for loss. So like for the strategy that I trade, right, I risk 300 for 600. I risk 300 for 600 every time, okay? Every time. This doesn't change. This number doesn't change. It only changes from evaluation to sim funded, but like sim, because like evaluation, I risk 500 for 1,000. Sim funded, I'll risk 300 for 600. And that's it. This is all I risk. 300 for 600 every time. And that doesn't change. What this accounts for is it accounts for losses in the market. Now, if I'm risking 300 for 600, let's just do the math real quick. So if I take the calculator out and we do the percentage basically of what I'm risking. So for example, right, if we take 50,000 and we times that by 0.5%, I'm risking around 0.5% of the account. 0.5%, guys. It should take you no much more than that. You want to stick within these ranges where you're risking only 0.5 to 1% of the account. You don't want to ever overtrade or over risk or anything like that. Like I see people just going in and risking like 2%. That's a lot of the account, guys. All of this is gonna be common knowledge by the time you enter a stage of like novice or experienced or anything like that. All of this is gonna be very common knowledge. So when I risk 300 for 600, right, I'm accounting for how much losses. So if we do 2,500, right, and we divide that by 300, because that's how much I lose every time, we get 8.3. So let's just round it down to 8 losses. I can take 8 losses on this account before it gets blown. I'm accounting for 8 losses. But if you have back-tested results, like I said though, backtested results are not indicative of future results. So whatever the past results are, they're not indicative of future ones. It just gives you confidence going in the market. So I can account for 8 losses, but if I look at the backtested data sheets and I crunch down the numbers and I look at how many times this strategy of mine is lost in the past and how many times it gets to that point, I'm accounting for it. I'm managing my risk. You see, it all comes in the package. As a trader, I've been doing this for a long time, but not as long as other people. I'm blessed to be in a spot where I have a sim funded account. I did this in 6 months, guys. 6 months. But it all starts with this: managing your risk. This is the rule that got me to pass my prop firm. If I never managed my risk and I just trade whenever I want, risk so much differently every single time, like here's 2%, here's 1%, here's 0.5%, here's 3% even, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in now. It takes time and dedication to the craft, but also managing your risk. So my tip for you guys is to find a good amount that you should risk. And what you guys should do when you're starting with prop firms is, let's just say you don't trade the strategy that I trade, right? And you're going in for a trade and you can't really calculate, you know, the amount. What I would do is I would use obviously a risk to reward tool. And let's just say, for example, you get in here and you're going for like a certain amount of points here. You just, maybe it's like a 1-to-1 or whatever. All you do is just calculate the points and then you'll calculate the contracts with how much points there is on the chart. So for instance, 35 points, right? Well, if I want to keep my balance within 0.5% of risk, I would figure out how much contracts I need to put in with their 35 points to leverage that. You see? So if I'm only risking 0.5% of my account, there's 35 points of risk, right? You would do the math on the calculator. So 0.5% of the account, 0.5% of the account is $250. So what you would do is you would figure out how much contracts you put in for that 35 points to equal $250. Simple as that, guys. You do the risk calculation, figure out how much contracts you need to put in for this to almost equal that amount. It doesn't have to be extremely perfect, but as long as you're managing your risk, you will pass prop firms, guys. I guarantee it. Maybe not right away. This is not a get rich quick scheme, guys. You know, you have to leverage your risk, stay consistent in the markets. Another rule that helped me pass prop firms is staying very, very consistent. I only trade once a day. I know people who trade twice a day, 3 times a day, and still get to where they're at sooner, a lot sooner because they do it and are overall successful. But don't overtrade. Trade once a day, manage your risk, and stay very, very consistent. Stay within these terms of risking the same amount every time, and you will get to this point. I'm going to show you my prop firm logbook that shows my consistency in the market and my risk management. So this is my calendar here on my dashboard, and I'm showing you guys my consistency. Look at this. I was 300 for 600. Crunch the numbers and know the win rate of my strategy. It says 25% here because we were on a loss streak, and now we're coming back from that. Took 2 wins. Now my account is sitting back at $28 of drawdown, so it's basically back at the break-even level. I've gotten 3 stars here, so I just need 2 more winning days, and then this will be eligible. This requirement will be met. I have 3 out of 30 days to winning to live. The point is even with a low win rate strategy, this is still profitable enough. The win rate is above 33%. Obviously, it's not going to show that. It's not going to reflect that because I'm still trying to get the samples in. So over time, it will. But as you can see on this dashboard, I'm risking 300 for 600. Boom, 300, 600. Now, obviously, this is when I went on the losing streak. 300, 300, 300, 300. 600, 600. You get the point. I'm managing my risk by only risking 0.5%. I'm accounting for the losses that I'm going to take. I can take 8 losses before I lose the account. That's something I know at the top of my head. But I also know how many wins I need to take in order to get to the point where I need to be. If I look at the back-tested data sheets and I look at how many times I get on loss streaks or how many times it's important to backtest and account for those losses. So now when I can account for the losses, I can manage my risk by thinking in my head, I should risk this amount of the account so that way I can account for any loss streaks or any other factors that vary in my trading. So guys, that's all I wanted to explain today. This is the very, very most simplest important rule that a lot of people skip, and that is why 90% fail in this field. 90% of people fail in this field. It's just really important to manage your risk and know what the numbers are behind your strategy. Whatever you trade, whatever strategy you trade, any strategy works. It really does. But it's also important to backtest it and know the numbers behind it. And once you know the numbers behind it, then you can leverage your risk by only risking a certain amount and accounting for the losses. Over the long term, your strategy should make you profitable. As long as it has a little edge in the market, no matter what the edge is, trade it, account for the risk, and stay consistent. That's it. That's all I did. It's that simple, guys. Seriously. Now, I'm going to end off this video, but before I end off this video, I just want to say that I'm not a financial advisor, so you take with this information what you will. All of this content that I put out for you guys is educational content. It's meant for educational purposes only. I am not legally advised to tell you guys how to trade. Past results are not indicative of future ones, and that just about does it for this video. So guys, like I said in the beginning of this video, please go to my link tree in my bio and also in this description and join my Discord, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Kick, and also follow me on Twitch. I will be streaming soon. I'll be multi-streaming to those services. Please do that. It'll help me out when I'm first starting. Also, in my link tree provided, I'll also have my free Discord linked in the bio, so please join it. I hope you guys learned something today, something so simple, and to you guys it may come off like you already know this information, but I guarantee you, if you're failing in the markets right now, you need to step back and reevaluate what you're doing wrong first on the forefronts. This could be one of the problems that you're making in the markets. So please, if you are not profitable, step back and realize what you're doing wrong in the forefronts. You might be managing your risk wrong. You might not be staying consistent. You might even just be over risking. Once you find out the little problem in your strategy, whatever you trade, tweak it, manage the risk on it, and I guarantee you your life will change. Anyways, guys, please like and subscribe to me. I'm trying to hit 10 subscribers. Once I hit 10 subscribers, I'll show you guys my live trading. I know that will really help you guys for whenever I drop that. So please like and subscribe. Also comment what you trade, how you trade. I'll try to reply as soon as possible. It's gonna be 2 videos that pop up on the screen. Pick whichever one that you think is better. Watch it. Watch both of them. Like both of them. Comment on both of them, subscribe to me in general. Okay guys, anyways, that's it for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.